What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is doing well. Before this video gets started, I want to thank you guys so much for 200 subs. I'm trying to hit 500 before the end of the year, so if you hear this and you're interested in Celtics content, sub up. Let's get into the game. After 4 straight losses to this young and promising Orlando Magic team, the Celtics finally grab a W. This one 128 to 111. There are some promising takeaways from this game tonight. I think the first one that we'll talk about is Missoula ball. Some people might say the Celtics played Missoula ball tonight, and it's very reminiscent of that 21-5 start from last year. But what exactly is Missoula ball? I think it's based around pace, ball movement, and shooting, and that's exactly what we saw tonight. The Celtics shot 42 threes, made 18 of them, 43% behind the arc. If the Celtics are shooting 43% behind the arc, there's not many games that they will lose, and they also assisted on 31 baskets tonight. It was good to see the ball pick up momentum tonight, pick up energy. I'm a firm believer in that. If the ball gets passed around, the more it gets passed around, the better momentum, the better energy is on the ball, and it's more likely for your shots to fall as a team, and that's exactly what we saw tonight. That's how their assists came. It wasn't just ISO, wait for the double, one pass to the corner. For the most part, the ball was being pushed out in a transition. There was drives and kicks, multiple efforts, skip passes, swing passes. When you move the ball like that and take care of the ball, this team only had 10 turnovers tonight. It's very easy for everybody to eat, and that's exactly what we saw tonight. Tatum with a few three-pointers, Holiday, D. White, Sam doing his thing, and Pritchard with 6 threes tonight. And on the other end of the ball, I thought this team had a great game tonight. You come into the game down your top 3 centers. No KP, no Al, no Luke, so it's a tall task, but I thought this team did a great job being handsy, active hands, increased the physicality, and forced 21 turnovers for the Magic. And I think another sign of that great defense was Paolo's game and Franz's game this season and last year. Those two kind of had their way with us, but tonight they just looked like any other guy out there. Those two themselves combined for 11 turnovers, poor shooting splits, Paolo with 14 points, Franz with 17. Usually it's D. White or Drew Holiday leading the charge on the defensive end, but tonight I got to give that credit to Jaylen Brown, who after the game was campaigning for himself to be in an all-defensive team. We'll see about that, but tonight he definitely deserves that credit. And just this year overall, I see him taking these assignments more seriously, and specifically tonight, I like the way his pickup points were. He was up farther, he was aggressive, he was pressuring the ball handler. His help defense is there, his positioning is good, he's on time when needed, and there's a lot less of him getting caught sleeping on those back cuts or weak side cuts. Just an explosive game for Jaylen Brown, literally explosive. We saw that monster dunk he had in transition, and that posterizing dunk he had on Anthony Black gave him his welcome to the NBA moment, along with a couple other dunks. This is probably a top 3 or 4 Jaylen game of the year. Again, it's not because of scoring. You look at the box score, only 18 points, but it's everything else he's doing. It's the attention to detail on defense. It's getting others involved, 4 assists tonight, and it's the lack of turnovers. And I know it's kind of early in the episode for this, but I think it's only right. We got to give some bench love. As I said earlier, we came into tonight with none of our centers playing. No KP, no Al, no Luke. Lamar Stevens got the start at the center spot. Lamar filled in well tonight. He finished with 8 points, grabbed an offensive rebound. But with him, it's not about the counting stats. It's more about the intangibles, doing the dirty work, putting his body on the line, making the hustle plays, and that's what he did tonight. He wasn't the only guy from that 3rd string squad who had a good game. We got to see O'Shea Brissett, who we saw a couple times this year. When we saw him before, he looked shaky in the offensive end, he didn't look confident in that shot at all, but tonight was a different story. Finished 4 for 4 from the field, even hit a 3, looked really confident in that jumper, and surprisingly had a nice assist to D. White. 2 other people on that bench squad I really want to hit on. First, we'll start with Keita. The 3 centers being down tonight, I thought for sure he would start. He didn't, but when he came in, he made the most of his minutes. He finished with a plus 13, and I thought his defensive presence was felt. He finished with 3 blocks. But again, not always about the counting stats. There was a handful of times tonight when an Orlando player was coming into the paint, saw Keita, and decided not to do that. And on the other end of the ball, I thought he showed off some good things, specifically his athleticism on that lob from Pritchard, who we're going to talk about next. Tonight was a game that should explain why I'm so hard on Peyton Pritchard. He finishes tonight with 21 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 6 for 7 from behind the arc. And listen, I know he can't do this every night, but just the inconsistency is unacceptable when he's capable of something like this. In the 4 games previous to this one, he scored 6 or fewer points in each of them. In 2 of them, he had 0 points. I mean, for Peyton Pritchard to be the 7th or whatever 8th man, it's unacceptable to have 0 points when his role is to come in and score. But again, just a phenomenal game from him. Got to show off a little bit more of that point guard side, getting more people involved, 0 turnovers, along with the scoring. I mean, if we just get 50% of this Peyton Pritchard, going forward, I will never talk about the Alex Caruso thing ever again. We are at that point in the episode. Let's just do the quick hits. We'll move on to JT. He had a cool 30 tonight. There's still a little concern for me there about his shooting. That 3-point shot this month has just been, I mean, it's just been flat out bad. He's shooting 29% from behind the arc, and his free throws too. He's under 80% for the month and the season. He has that wrap on his right arm. I don't know if it's his wrist or his forearm. There's something going on there. I want someone to ask him about it. But overall, I was happy with this game tonight. I liked the way he got the matchup he wanted. Went at Cole Anthony a lot, got some easy buckets. I also want to give a shout out to Drew Holiday. He is the definition of a selfless glue guy. Tonight he comes in and only shoots 7 shots, but his impact is felt all over the floor. But sometimes I wonder, is he happy in this role on the offense? I have no evidence to think he's not. But last year, I think back to, he's on a really good Bucks team. He's the second option, putting up 19 a game. He scored his career high last year, put up 51 against the Pacers. Again, no reason to think he's not happy, but I'm just wondering. Overall, just a really solid win for the Celtics team. Get to shake off those Orlando Demons. We see them again. This is another mini series, so we see them again on Sunday. But let's talk about the Magic a little bit. Magic fans, if there's anybody listening, last time after you guys beat us, I go on Twitter. I don't know who he is. I don't even want to name drop. There's someone in the prominent in the Magic fandom who thinks that this team could beat the Celtics in a playoff series. And do you still feel that way? Like, we didn't have our top 3 centers and you still got smacked. I'm just kind of joking around. I respect the Magic. I like your team a lot. Specifically, I really like Anthony Black. I want to see him more with the ball in his hands. Obviously, that's a little bit hard because, he's a rookie. He has some all-stars ahead of him, but I think that's where he'll thrive. But I'm just wondering if there's any Magic fans in here, like, what's your expectations for this year? You guys have gotten off to this hot start. I think you guys are, tied for second, or maybe, that 2nd through 4 spot right now. Is the goal is it to be a playoff team? Is it to be a play-in team? Because either one would be a jump, but you guys have just fully bought in on this leap here, and you guys like, all right, let's go for the playoffs. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up right there. Again, it's a mini series. I really like these mini series. We'll see what adjustments both teams make on Sunday. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. I'm here after all 82 games, man. Every single Celtics game. I'm not going anywhere. All 82 plus. Have I proved it yet? We're what? 25 games in, 24 games in. I'm still here, okay? I will see you guys Sunday. Orlando Magic again, December 17th. Peace.